the Sterling High School Sports Report. I'm Bill Hiltner, the Athletic Director here at Sterling High School. And our special guest this evening is our new principal, Dr. Dennis Vespe, seated to my left. Welcome to the show, Dr. Vespe.
Thanks, Bill. Glad to be here.
We're going to talk to Dr. Vespe in just a second. Before we do that, though, I just want to kind of bring you up to speed here. We, for the benefit of those viewers who maybe are new to the area, we had a similar show to this, matter of fact, very similar show to this for several years, in which we would highlight the athletic activities here at Sterling High School on a weekly basis throughout the fall and the winter and the spring sports season. We'd talk to coaches and captains and the sort of other people that were involved in our sports scene. And we had to take a year or two off. I have to be honest, Dr. Vespe, I had some offers when ESPN called. Got to go where the money is.
I understand, totally.
Final Fours and World Series and Olympics were great, but my heart is here at Sterling High School, so I'm back. So we're going to resume the show. I'll have to talk to Tad Kosnewski, our director, to find out exactly when the show will play, but I'm sure if you just flick through your channels there, you'll see it running from time to time during the course of the week, and I think you'll enjoy it. Right now, we're going to start by asking Dr. Vespe if the last time I saw you, Dr. Vespe, you were commandeering all-season football players into the weight room. I turn around and I read my board report, and now you're the principal of Sterling High School. So fill us in on what happened.
Well, I was lucky enough to get a teaching position here at Sterling back in '92.
Right.
I came from the Stratford school system where I taught for 3 years. I helped Joe Kogan out with the Stratford Squires basketball team, and I also was an assistant coach here from '89 to '93.
Okay.
Then I wanted to be a head coach here at Sterling. I mean, that was my boyhood dream, all the way back in '74, '75, when I was a little guy watching the games on the 50-yard line. But I had an opportunity at Triton Regional High School, Pike School District, and they offered me the head coaching position at Triton High School. So, much to my surprise, I left Sterling High School District, which I thought would never happen, and I became the head football coach at Triton Regional High School. Stayed there for about 7 years, had some success at Triton, and then got a vice principal's position at Timber Creek High School, which was the same district, but they just built a brand new high school. From there, I became the school business administrator for the entire district at Black Horse Pike. Spent about years as the school business administrator. Then I became the superintendent at Gibbsboro, and I got a phone call from Mr. McCulley, the superintendent, saying that Mr. Tannenbaum, the principal, was getting ready to retire, if I would consider being the principal or applying for the principal's job at Sterling. Well, I don't think he got the words consider out of his mouth. The phone was dropped. I sat out and filled out the applications, resumes, 9 yards. Luckily, I was the successful candidate, and I'll tell you what, it happened so fast, and talk about a dream come true. I got to be principal of my alma mater, and I get to come back and be part of a staff with people like yourself, Mr. Gallagher, and everybody else. So, yeah, it happened. It seemed to me like it happened yesterday, but it's been the course of about 13, 14 years.
Okay. Now, of course, Dr. Vespe has been on Channel 19 before, and you've covered a lot of ground in a lot of other areas. And obviously, the focus of this show is athletics. So we're going to that point. And I guess my next question to you would be, thinking back to your days at Sterling High School, how did your athletic experiences help to shape you, the person that you are? How did they influence your life and make you into the person you are today? As a matter of fact, as you're talking, I think we might even have some old shots of you in your days as an athlete here at Sterling.
That could be. I'm not sure. Tad's pretty good. Oh, that's actually my graduation. That's in Gym B, which at the time was the only gym for us. That's Mr. Bud Reitler, board president, and behind me is Dr. Dinitz, the superintendent. That was June of '84. Oh, wow. There's me and my hero. That's my father to my right. He still walks. Everybody sees him. That was junior year. Jim Gallagher instituted a picture day, and we all got to take pictures. So that's me and my hero on the 50-yard line. That's senior year. That's one of the captain's pictures from the 1983 season, '84 graduation year, and they did a nice job on the yearbook. That was the captain's picture. There we are running on the field. That was back in junior year, '56, where I was the linebacker. Timmy Wooders to my right, Maurice Pollitt, number 10, Robbie Hughes, Timmy Austin, number 54.
Now, can I interrupt?
Sure,
Are you in the same class with Robbie and that crew?
No, actually, Robbie was a year behind me. He was a sophomore when I was a junior. He was 85, Robbie.
That would
I
have been
was
Robbie,
84.
Tyrone Dupree,
Correct.
and all those guys, right?
That's right. Yeah. There's me and Greg Blair, number 32. I'm number 82 there. My numbers change from week to week because Coach Gallagher always had me playing linebacker, but on offense he'd move me to guard, tight end. I think I was one of the only guys that could remember the plays that he would put in. And that's me running the ball there. That's me with Anthony Cotrera, Lou DeMarco. We're getting ready. Pretty sure we're playing Haddon Heights there, homecoming. And that was, I believe, the 81 season. That's me and Paul Roscoe. Paul's now an assistant coach here at Sterling, does track, and I think he's helping out with football. Him and I were linebacker defensive end that year, and we're closing down on one of the Heights running backs there. That's me, Paul, and a bunch of other guys. Looks like I'm a little late on that tackle. I probably should have cut that
piling
film.
on.
Yeah, piling on, getting in the licks, trying to get a star on my helmet. That's when I was a running back. Coach had me play a little fullback every once in a while because he needed, I think, a blocker, a guard in the backfield. And I said, look, if you're going to have me move all these positions, throw me the bone. So I think Aries let me run one during practice, and that was it. That's linebacker again. That's against Woodbury, one of our classic rivals. We had some good matches with Woodbury back in the day.
Yeah, they were strong in those years.
Yeah, yes they were. That's my Brooks Irvine Unsung Hero Award. Coach Gallagher wrote a heartwarming letter. Fortunately, my senior year, I broke my leg, game 6, one of the worst days of my life, October 29th, 1983. And I missed the rest of the season, and Coach wrote a letter to the Brooks Irvine nominating me for Unsung Hero. I appreciated that. That was the Outstanding Athlete Award for football 1983. Again, Coach Gallagher and the coaches took it upon themselves to vote me in for the Outstanding Athlete for 83 for football. Again, I only played half the season, but that meant an awful lot to me.
Bill Morrow, AD, and
yeah, Mr. Morrow and Doc Dinich, the principal.
Right.
That's one of the Stratford Squires Awards when I helped Joe Kogan out over Stratford. We had a nice run. 1980-89, we were, as you know, we were one of the smaller teams in that tournament. I was the assistant coach. That was a team with Dave Pearson, Ryan Barickian, Jeff Passell, right, Jeff Hoeing, those guys. Yeah. And we beat Voorhees for the chip, and Al Holland's son, the pitcher for the Phillies, his son was a player on that Voorhees team.
I remember.
And I helped out with the big guys. Joe wanted me to knock them around so they'd learn how to rebound. Oh, that's a great team. That's the 92 team. If you're looking at the picture to the right is me kneeling, Mr. Manlove behind me, Coach Manlove, Mr. Watts. That was a great team, 92. That's where we went to the state finals against Delran, lost 12-10, a Hail Mary pass. Jay Brook and Rob Mann went up for the ball. I thought it was an interception. I was up in the crow's nest, said this game's over. They knocked each other down. It fell into the receiver's hands in Delran, and we lost.
Well, I have to interrupt you there too, because I have to tell a great Jay Brook story.
Oh, sure.
Jay, I believe, is the only athlete, and Jay, I think Jay will take this as it's intended. The only athlete we could come up with that helped to lose 2 Group II championships in 1 year. He helped you lose that game, and then we were township in the Group II basketball final, and he helped to lose that game by breaking his nose in the first minute of the game. We had to take him to the hospital. He broke his nose, blood all over the floor. It was over at Washington Township. And we had to bring in, I think Joey Lewis was only a sophomore at the time, and we got hammered the rest of the game. So Jay was single-handedly responsible for losing 2 Group II championships in 1 school year.
Oh, he'll love that. He'll absolutely love that.
Well, getting back, are we done with the pictures there, I guess, right? We got one more?
Oh, they took out some of my coaching. That was in 1999. I was the head coach at Triton, and I'm going to throw a little plug in here for me and my staff. I won the Coach of the Year award for the Brooks Irvine for the American Division Olympic. And Bill, in 1999, Triton made the playoffs, first time in the school's history.
Wow.
Never happened before, and the school was built back in '57. And we were in a pretty good division that year. We beat Shawnee at Shawnee. We beat Cherokee at Cherokee. And we went in the first round of the playoffs, and going into about 5 minutes left in the game, it's 15-12, bricks up. We're driving. We fumble, they pick it up and run it in, and I just saw all the air come out of our tires, and then it snowballed. But that was a pretty good team, that 1919.
You got that one there?
That's the plaque for the Olympic division. In fact, Tim Gushu, who I got a lot of respect for, tremendous coach over at Shawnee, stood up when they went to vote and said there's not even a vote this year. We know who it is. So that meant a lot to me.
Getting back to the original question, Dennis, how would you say those experiences helped to shape you as a person?
Well, athletics has always been a part of my life, even before Sterling High School. And not because you're sitting here, but you used to run, if you remember, those Saturday morning basketball, I'll call them clinics, but whatever you call them. And I can remember as far back as 5th and 6th grade, we would walk up in the snow, a bunch of us guys would meet at St. Luke's, walk up and come to the Saturday morning programs. And the tremendous Stratford leagues for baseball and the Stratford Falcons. So athletics has always been a part of my life. And I'll be honest to say, especially in high school, I was more athletics than I was academics. I'm not proud of that, but that's the way it was. And probably if it wasn't for athletics, I might have drifted off. So athletics has always been a part of my life. It's structured, it gave me organization, gave me some leadership skills. And to this day, I mean, even when I talk to the faculty, as you know, I have a lot of athletic references. So people like yourselves, Coach Gallagher, and all those Little League coaches, Mr. Mancini for the Stratford Clinic, Mr. Marias, Monica coaches, I had Mr. Marias on the Yankees. All those people were wonderful influences all my life. They taught me structure, they taught me discipline, and they taught me to respect other people. Play hard, but respect the other team. And I've carried that through life. When I would study and finish in my doctorate, my dissertation, there were many long nights when I wanted to put it down and walk away.
Right.
But I would think back to different things that you, Coach Gallagher, and other people, stick to it, be disciplined, stay the course. And for me, athletics has carried me all through that academic part of it.
If you could give some advice based on those experiences to our athletes in a word or two, what would be the best advice you could give to them as they start out their football season, their field hockey season, their soccer season? What might that advice be?
Commitment. Be committed. I met with the kids back in the end of May, well, actually the end of June before they left. And I told them, as I sit here and we're going through all these pictures and all, which is tremendous, I was by far not the best athlete on the team, even though I got that award. Athletically, skill-wise, I was maybe a little above average. I was never the strongest, never the fastest, never the tallest. But I just had that work ethic because of coaches such as yourself and Mr. Gallagher, and I stayed committed. And wherever I could gain my advantage, whether it be watching a film or going in the weight room, because I wasn't the greatest athlete, that's advantage of. So my advice to those kids would be commitment. Stay committed. If you have a tremendous athlete like an Art Ellis last year, let him thrive in his athleticism. Help him any way you can by being a great blocker or a great teammate. The other thing I'd like to add too, because this was a mistake I made when I was in high school. My first couple years, I played, the 3 sports, or tried to play and got involved. I played the street hockey and all. But then I focused on one because it was my passion. And looking back, that was a mistake. In high school, college is a little different. But in high school, if you can play and be successful at a sport, I'm not saying be in all South Jersey, but be successful, play that sport. If it's football or soccer or whatever in the fall, do that. If it's basketball, wrestling in the winter, do that. And if it's, golf or softball, baseball, whatever in the spring, play your sports. Because man, those 4 years fly by, and you're gonna wish you had. Because I know to this day, I wish I had stuck with baseball and even basketball at the time.
Great advice. We see too much specialization going on today.
I agree.
What changes, thinking back to '83, what changes, either physically or otherwise, do you see in the athletics here at Sterling High School from the time you graduated in the early '80s to 2006-07? Obviously, some things have changed.
Sure. The biggest thing that has changed is we have lights. We didn't have lights. We still had a cinder track when I played.
Right.
Now we got a beautiful all-weather track.
Right.
And obviously the gym. I mean, this brand new gym, I don't know if it's brand new, but I know it's only a couple years old, is gorgeous. That graduation picture you saw of me, that was in what we call now Gym B.
Right.
But that was the main gym, the only gym at the time. So to me, they're the two biggest changes. The weight room's expanded a little bit, although we had a pretty good weight room. And the one thing I love, and again, this is more because of being a coach and athlete, that wall of fame in between, I call it the breezeway,
the old breezeway,
right? The old breezeway. Right. That wall of fame is a fantastic. I mean, I still walk by there and stop and start to look, because to me, never lose the history of where you come from.
Right.
And Sterling, I mean, we were the first high school football team to win a South Jersey sectional championship. We were the first girls team, I believe, to win that, South Jersey now, to win the Tournament of Champions,
Right.
if memory serves.
Right.
So I mean, that's some serious history there. When they say in the Enquirer or on the Courier Post, what was the first school in South Jersey history to win a football championship? That's us.
Right.
You know, who's the first girls team to win the Tournament of Champions in South Jersey?
Right.
That's us.
Right.
I mean, that's some great stuff.
We always tell the kids, enjoy the journey, because that's really what it's all about.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to remember who you beat by what score. You're going to remember bus rides and locker room gags and all that
that's right.
crazy stuff.
That's right.
And that goes back to playing more than that one sport.
Absolutely.
And being influenced by more than one coach too. You can learn from different things from different coaches too, so you want that. Be your expectations, goals maybe, as the principal of Sterling High School for our athletic programs here at Sterling High School?
Well, first and foremost, I want us to be a class organization. No matter what we do, I want us to look the best. I want us to treat other teams with respect, and I know we did win the Coaches Award this past season, which is a tremendous accomplishment. But be first class in everything we do. Strive to be the best in everything we do. Now, does that mean we're going to win a championship every year? No, absolutely not. But if our coaches and our players hold Sterling in the kind of esteem and kind of cherish possession that I do, and treat that S that I like to call it with such revere, that would be my goals. I just want us to be a class act no matter where we go. So when we leave a field, the visitors, the other coaches, the other athletic directors, the other principals and superintendents say, you know what? There goes a class organization.
Okay. Any last thoughts or closing thoughts that you might have, Dr. Vespe?
I just want to wish the fall sports and all the sports, although I'm sure again, best of luck. Remember, we're Knights, so everything's first class. And if we don't win championships, although I want to, as long as we give our best effort and do the best we can and respect and represent ourselves, we'll do great. So best of luck to the fall athletes. I want to thank you, Coach, especially for this opportunity. And I'm going to throw you a plug. I mean, I didn't play basketball, but I had a lot of experiences with you, not only as an athlete, but as a teacher when we were colleagues and I taught here. And you're right about other coaches' influence, and it wasn't just football coaches. You had an influence on my life as well, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, Dr. Vespe. Well, next week we're going to have a gentleman who I know had a profound influence on your life, and that's, of course, our head football coach, Mr. Jim Gallagher.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be our first coach to come on board if I can pry him away from his special ed duties next week at some point. And we'll let him give you a little preview on the upcoming football season. I know they enjoyed a great season last year. We did graduate some outstanding individual players, but I know we have some good ones coming back and some nice potential as well. So I know he's excited about this upcoming season, and we'll let you tell you what he's seen in the first few weeks. Actually, it's more like the first few months. It seems like they've been practicing since June. Let you fill you in on where we're at and where we're going with the football season. So that'll be next week's show, and we hope that you'll join us. We appreciate you watching tonight. And again, thank you to Dr. Vespe.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you again next week. Good night.